Okay, so this morning I commented or replied to a comment about my dizziness, and I had to cut it short. I said I'll log about later, but the main reason I had to cut it short is because I like to talk. I mean, yeah, as quiet as I am, because I tend not to be quiet. I tend to be quiet until I get going, and then I just talk. I'm an extroverted introvert. That's a thing. Apparently, I saw it on the internet. So I have a lot to say about the dizziness because it's been going on for so long. I've been dizzy for at least 20 years. It was off and on for years. And when it first started, it was just when I laid down and stood back up, or just when I looked up. So pretty much what the doctor said was, well, then don't stand up suddenly and don't look up. Okay. And then a few years later, it was every couple of years I just would have dizzy spells. And no big deal. Time went on, they said I had vertigo. Okay. And then I kind of, I found out there's a real vertigo, and then there's it's like a catch-all for if the doctor doesn't know what it is, it's a vertigo. It's one of those the real vertigo and the catch-all vertigo. Apparently, they just didn't want to look into why I was dizzy so much. But it was still mostly just when I looked up, and then it went from like every couple of years I had dizzy spells to every couple of months to every couple of weeks to a couple of times a week to every day. Just when I lay down and looked up, and then it's changed. So the last few years, it became so bad I was running into walls, and it was not just when I looked up. Now it was, and it's not every time, but a lot of times, just when I turn my head, when I look, it's like my vision tracks differently than my brain at a different speed or something, and I'll run into the wall or I stumble around. Still, it wasn't every day though, but it's changed. Now it's like every day I'm stumbling around. And some people who see this video will know. Not everybody will, but in November of this last year, I was pulled over because apparently I was swerving. This was a night I was pulled over, and I found out later the ticket driver said I was up on the curb. I don't remember going up driving on the curb, but I was kind of swerving, and the cop thought that I was on something, and breathalyzer. I breathed to 0%. Can't walk a line. I never can walk a line. That's a straight line. I can't walk a straight line. I was like stumbly, and then he had me do the I don't know what it's called when you touch your nose, and then there's this one where you stand still, sobriety test, and they have a flashlight. He moves the flashlight, and you're supposed to follow it with your eyes. Well, I can't follow things with my eyes without moving my head a little bit, and it's hard to do. So he arrested me because he's like, "Your eyes look bad. You must be on something." He's like, "They gave you a driver's license when you're like this?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's gotten worse, but yeah, I've got a driver's license. You're not on anything?" I took some ibuprofen about 5 o'clock. Well, 5 hours ago, that shouldn't matter. Like, I'm not on anything. But he arrested me, took me to, and I wasn't belligerent or anything. I was just, I answered the questions. Seriously, I wasn't on anything. I mean, but he took me to a hospital to get a blood test, and Kind of pisses me off that blood tests aren't instantaneous. They can be. It seems like they should be, but Oklahoma Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation. No way it was. They sent it to OBI. It was the Highway Patrol. Sent it to OBI. I found this out later. But so they draw 3 vials and he puts it in a sealed envelope and blah blah blah. Takes it to his people. But I was arrested, so I went to jail overnight, and my dad passed bail. No big deal. I mean, I got out of jail. I only missed 1 day of work. I mean, it was, but I had to get a lawyer because I had this DUI on. It said DUI. I mean, that's what I was arrested for, even though it didn't have blood results yet. They didn't have the drug test, and it was stupid. I need a lawyer, so went to court a couple months later. They didn't have the blood test back. Stupid. Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation is really slow with the blood test. I heard about this later. That's what they do. The Highway Patrol takes the blood, that envelope, they send it to their lab. Their lab sends it to OBI, and OBI, I guess, sits on it for months. So in February rolls around, and the court date, my lawyer tells me I don't have to go. And the reason why is because blood test came back and I was sober. Well, duh, I could tell you that. But I finally had proof. They had proof that I was sober and dropped it because they're like, oh man, we can't get on money. I'll drop it, you know. And that, it kind of pissed me off that, okay, my car was impounded. I missed a day at work. My dad had to pay the bail bondman. I had to pay a lawyer. I mean, why? I'm sure I could have fought it, but they should have paid, and maybe in civil court or something, I could still get some money from the state for being stupid, or from that cop for arresting me for no reason. I mean, except for I looked bad. Because that's what it was. It was just because I looked bad. See, how much money would that be? I paid them. I don't know. $800. $1,000. I don't know. Just, stupid. And I pull, okay. Here's the next part of the story. In January, I think it was January, maybe it was February, in February, after the case was dropped, I got pulled over again for not staying in the line, for slowing down. And I told the officer, I said, I'm not going to be able to walk a line. I've got really bad balance. He goes, why is that? I'm a little skeptical. I said, I don't know. Something's wrong. I've been dizzy off and on for a long time. I can't walk a line. And I told him about, in November, I was arrested for not walking a line. It was, and so he has to run me through the motions of doing the field sobriety test and walking. I can't do the walk. Breathalyzer was 0. He had me do the light thing, and looking at my eyes, he said, "You have acquired nystagmus, I think is what it's called." And he said it's heightened in people who are on drugs or who are drinking. And that's one thing they're trained to look for. Well, apparently, I don't know, Tulsa cops are trained differently than highway patrolmen. I don't know, because he seemed really knowledgeable. He said what that nystagmus is. Your eyes don't track correctly. They don't go the same speed as everything else. So you can't follow a light with without moving your head, because you just can't. And he said, he was like, you can get a card, go in your wallet, so you'll never get arrested again.